Those two attacks have put the controversy over pit bulls and other so-called dangerous dogs back in the spotlight. We know a lot of you have concerns. We've seen the emails.
We sure have. And First Coast News' Lana Harris has been digging deeper tonight. She joins us now live in the studio with a closer look. Lana?
Yeah, Anthony, Heather, we get flooded with comments from viewers whenever we post a story about a dog attack. Some people coming down against pit bulls saying these dogs should be banned. Others saying any dog can attack and there's no good reason to focus on specific breeds. Still, there is such a thing as breed-specific legislation, and that's where a city can ban or restrict dangerous dog breeds. Of course, that's primarily applying to pit bulls. Now, here in Florida, only Miami has a ban on pit bulls. That's according to dogbites.org. But don't expect to see any legislation like that here because no one else in the state is allowed to do it. Florida prohibits local governments from enacting these breed-specific laws. The Miami ordinance was grandfathered in. Now, here's what you really want to know. We're on your side tonight looking closer at Florida's laws to see how dog owners could be held liable if their animal attacks someone. We dug through the statutes and found that owners are held liable for damages regardless of where the animal is, even if the owner's not around. But if the victim was negligent, they could share in that liability and criminal charges could follow as well. The owner could face a misdemeanor charge. Now, if a dog determined to be dangerous kills someone, that owner could be charged with a felony. Exceptions do apply, for example, if that victim was committing a crime like a burglar. And having homeowners insurance might not be enough to keep you out of trouble if your dog attacks someone. So you're going to want to read the fine print on your policy because there can be specific exclusions for dog attacks. Here in the studio, I'm Lana Harris, First Coast News, on your side.